doubly hard to bully out once you have the sidekick going. So if you gap close in, once you have levels in the flak and maybe a value point in rocket barrage, it just doesn't feel safe. Even just playing with flak and sidekick level 1, like you are double melee in that lane. It's not comfy for you to lane into all of that free harass from a gyrocopter. They are going for a very sneaky smoke here in Felt though. All around the gate.
I like it. Expecting a position 1 to be here, and they would be correct in assuming that.
What is this sound? Is it just me? Is it the high five lingering? Is this an anniversary update?
No. Yeah, someone was taunting or something. It may have been an anniversary thing. Speaking of which, can somebody confirm, is the Gaben's line thing like different to the voice pack? Have we confirmed yet, John? I know you were telling me it should be.
The picture shows the voice line chat wheel, right?
Right,
and it says voice line pack. It must be different, I want to hear. I want to hear whatever Gaben has to say. Maybe he's hinting about Half-Life 3's release date. That would be big.
That's very funny, Jonathan. Got any words?
Don't tease me like that, Mike. Okay, I'm holding on to hope here. Unlike you, I do enjoy single-player games, Mike. And Half-Life 2 is a masterpiece. Half-Life Alyx was amazing.
Yeah, look forward to Half-Life Alyx 2. It's going to be very good.
Would be
a great game.
If we even get... I'd be happy if we got something like that. Just as I'm happy to see our lanes break out here. Argus on the gyrocopter down bot. He will get the backup of Yanbura, of course, in the end. So, gyrocopter Marcy lane up against dual melee. Granted, these two melee heroes can gap close well. So it's not going to be too bad, but...
Yeah, Fade's already taking a fair bit of harassment here. Yanbura opting to go for the level 1 dispose. Dispose, again, works very well with the gyrocopter because you can just throw a hero into the gyro, into the rocket barrage spam, and it does prove to be very painful. Speaking of painful, mid lane, RRL already dropping extremely low here to Kits. Kits abusing the Razors level 1. I believe hitting all 3 of them. And RRL just not able to sustain himself through the damage output, and Kits, he might keep going for more. Flame Guard will be popped though, so RRL going to try and abuse the Flame Guard. Ensure Kits cannot secure a kill onto himself. And it seems like the mid lane is eventually going to even up.
Yeah, this is still pretty favorite for the SF, but you have some counterplay on the Ember for sure.
What hat is he wearing on the SF?
Yeah, it looked like a jester hat, doesn't it? Like a little sleepyhead hat.
Bot lane, Yanbura's gone.
No,
they've got Yanbura, John, but look at this hat.
I don't know. Is there a patch? Is there like a website for the 10th anniversary patch? Because I feel like he got high five, then he got this hat. Because it's not in his portrait.
Yeah, but...
And that's where the noise was coming from.
Where's the showcase view? How come I can't go into showcase view?
Well, you can't, Mike. You don't have bound.
Damn it. Top lane, Lichen, Albino Zebra against Kara and Thana. This is what I get for buying a new PC, by the way, John. It's just... All my settings are gone now. It's shocking.
You never had it bound. Even though, on your old PC, you didn't have that damn thing bound, Mike. Not my fault. This lane up top, as you were saying. I'll continue your thoughts for you, Mike. The Tide lane for Kara is still fairly straightforward. He's having a good time farming. It's not the comfiest for Licht, although they've got the stun set for Blood Right, but Tide's just a little bit too durable to run down. And with the constant harassment out from Tana, it, again, just holds you back from this aggression here for Licht. You are still able to farm, but again, the pace is not that good. And, big correction from Ravens coming out with strong lanes is starting to show up here. Outside of mid, every lane kind of looking pretty clean here for Ravens.
The Bloodseeker also has the hat, by the way, John. It's bottom lane.
What is this? It must be an update.
See, this is that people are going to call us stupid for not knowing, but we literally started casting and the update came out. Like, the update came out literally right before we started. So we had no chance to look at anything.
I'm going to check it out. Go.
Please do. Top lane, you almost saw Thana going down. He's going to be just fine. He will barely survive. But he does not have a hat himself, sadly. So he's not so lucky as the SF and Bloodseeker.
There's literally no note here. There's no note. It just says, put on your party hats and join us, won't you? In celebrating Dota 2's 10-year anniversary. So there are party hats. From the high five, I guess, but there's no notes, so that's kind of cool. Just high five and get a hat.
I like it. I like it. Mid lane RL's going to be very cautious here, John. There's rotations incoming. I mean, 4-minute water rooms are going to spawn up. Yambura, roll is there from Solji, though he will get disposed up by Yambura, but it's not going to amount to too much. He got the water in anyway. Just wanting to ensure that the Ember gets nothing.
They all have hats. Except for Fade. He's the only one who didn't high five Mike.
How embarrassing. Yambura. Still going for a man fight here with Solji. Solji does not seem to care. He'll just keep going. Who wins this man fight between the supports?
What is this?
Oh, Yambura cheated. RL was moving in from the mid lane. He cheated. 1v1 him like a man, damn it.
I mean, he would have won, honestly, with a lifesteal.
What do you
just with sidekick? Yeah, he was winning. He was winning that.
There was a Lotus
Still has
available on the
as
Earth
well.
He had a Lotus.
All right. Let's chill out here. No party hat for... Just want to point out again, no party hat for Fate. I don't know why I segue there. Are lining up for mid.
Can he connect the roll, though? He's going to run right into RL. RL still just level 4. Nice D ward there from Solji, and he's going to stick around for another roll attempt. Not going to land it. Kits is out-leveling the Ember by quite a lot, by the way. You are going to hit that level 6 timing on the SF much earlier. Mind you, it's not like the Requiem's going to matter too much, because chances are Kits is not even going to skill it up. But you can tell Kits is having a much better time in this mid lane, like even just in CS. He's 29 and 18 compared to the 13 and 4 of the Embers. Top lane, roll is out, Thaina's in trouble. They did get the boulder smash, but Thaina is going to survive as now Yambura's rotated on the Marcy. Kara with the chase to boot onto Solji. Solji will have a roll up in 1 second, and he gets it off. Can they keep the vision up, though? It seems like Thaina probably can. Problem is, Solji does have a healing Lotus available, so he will survive. There's a boulder smash out slowing down Thaina a little bit longer. He has another roll in 2 seconds, but it should not be enough time. He's down.
That's a lot of space, though. That's a lot of time taken away from these supports chasing down the Earth Spirit. Giving room out for this Bloodseeker to just try to stabilize this lane. A room where Kits is not threatened by the Silence, threatened by the Ancient Seal. And he will get a bottle refill anyway from that as Solji also managed to secure the bounty runes as they try. Doesn't land this time.
Solji's having a few issues landing into RRL. RRL very, very kind of good game sense, just knowing the Earth Spirit is around somewhere. Yambura just constantly chasing down Solji as well. He's not really allowing the Earth Spirit to do what he wants. Constantly keeping tabs of where this man's gone. More heroes rotate into the mid lane, as now Kits could be in danger. They know the Earth Spirit is not around at the moment. They'll try and pop the heals out from the Dawnbreaker. Fade trying his best to help Kits stay alive. So they will find Yambura. A decent fight for Feld, as they will keep Kits alive. That's what really matters here.
And they keep Kits alive, they punish the aggression from Ravens. Now, they're not able to capitalize still on trying to play with this Ember. And RL is copping the short end of the stick. And we talked about this Ember being one of his best heroes, but this is such a slow start. This is giving a lot of room out to Argus and to Kara. So your Tidehunter and Gyrocopter are hitting some pretty good tempo spikes coming out soon. You're going to have some really quick itemization for Argus into the Ags here in the Gyrocopter. Kara, he's going to be able to build in to his auras quite fast as well. All at the cost of the Ember, though. See how well RL can play without too much itemization. 1.9k net worth, barely above Solji.
Yeah, I tell you what, Johnny, Kits is playing out of his mind this series. Like, he's just completely destroying the mid lane. RL just not being given any kind of inch here from Kits. Top lane, you might see Albino Zebra dropping very, very soon, though he did have some nice stick charges for himself. Yambura will stick around for a watcher, but that's about it. Won't be able to secure the kill onto the bench. Yeah, boy, oh boy, like, going back to the Ember Spirit talk, like, RL, he's got so much catching up to do. So much catching up. And the thing is, it's not like you can really keep up with the SF. Because Kits is just going to always hit creeps. Pop,
Oh.
Kara, nice ravage, will at least take albino zebra before he himself goes down. He's getting whatever he can. She's very, very tanky, but eventually Lich will be able to find the kill for himself in the Bloodseeker. Still definitely a positive trade here for the side of Phil.
Yeah, you're more than happy. You find that off-lane kill. You get the sacrifice going with your Venge. The big thing for Ravens is just, this is so much space for a gyrocopter. And we've seen how fast this hero can farm. Like, this hero is ridiculous once it is allowed just a little bit of leeway to farm up. Can build up so fast. Down mid? Bit of a dive on the kits.
He's trying to get something done. It's kind of hard when you're literally half the net worth of the SF. I suppose maybe with the haste he could have tried for something, but without the help there, chances were he wasn't going to find anything. So 2 to 3 now. 9.5 minutes. Yes, John?
I mean, this is just space, right? Like, the lineup of Ravens does kind of want to play a little bit slower, get some build-up. On Argus, eventually, an Ember Spirit will eventually just find some kills in backline. You've always got that combination. Once you hit level 6 in your supports, that's where things can shine. The issue is that level 6 timing is really stalled out. All those movements onto mid just sacrifice these supports level gains. Like, you're still at level 3 here for Tana. So Mystic Flare is a pipe dream at this point. Yanbora at level 4.5 as well. In comparison to Felt, level 5 already on your Venge for Albino, level 5 for Solji. Those are much closer to those big spikes we're talking about.
Uh-oh. I mean, call down was committed by Argus, but he was just trying to snipe the creeps away. Ends up costing him his own life as Fade was just casually waiting for him to move forward. Very easy magic missile from Albino Zebra to set up. Top lane, there is going to be a bit of a pushing coming as Yambura and Kara will both get started with the Meteor Hammer and just the right clicks here from the Marcy, but Lich will go for the Rupture out. Kara going to avoid the silence, and I don't know if you've actually got enough damage here as the Bloodseeker that they will pop the Solar Guardian trying to help out. And eventually secure perhaps Yambura on the Marcy. Though the Tide is going to be fine to walk away from this. Mid lane, let me group up. Kits will back off in time. The tier 1 tower did take a substantial amount of damage, but ultimately they will be able to protect.
There's some poking and prodding. Full Meteor Hammer out for Kara to get that push going, as he used it successfully at top as well. 2 to 5, net worth still in the advantage of Felt. You're still hurting here on Ravens, especially with RRL, but even with all that space for these side lane cores for Kara and for Argus, they're not really in a lead. Like, you're actually equally farmed across every core outside of the Ember. So you're still in a very happy spot here for Felt. Again, the key thing for Ravens now is just levels for supports. Tana, he needs that 6.
Oh. Instant Ravage out into Solji. Solji will die for this. I mean, I can kind of appreciate the fact that Kara is not hesitating to press his R button. It is allowing him to find some very simple pickoffs here for his side. And I suppose this early on, he doesn't really care to hold Ravage. Just use it every chance he can get.
Yeah, just look for those easy kills. You're not looking for the big clump ups this early on anyway. You understand that Felt are more than likely just sitting back and farming. Not looking to commit all their resources at once here. So just find what you can. And Kits just goes into farm the Ancients, gets another bottle top up from Solji. It feels like every single time Solji dies, he's just looking out for his mid. Even when the laning phase is over, it's just like, oh, you need to top up, Kits. Like, yep. Go back farming. We have to see when this investment pays off from Ravens. Like, with Argus, he is farming the opposite side of the action right now. So they jump in.
They've got Kara this time. Requiem being channeled, not being thrown out yet. There's your Solar Guardian, but it's a very messy engagement. It's kind of the thing when you go after a Tide, like with level 3 Krakenshaw, he's not really that easy to kill. So none of the stuns really last on the Tide, and he just casually walks out of it. Maybe now they can go for it. They're going to try again. Onto the Tide they go. The Blood Ride is out with the Rupture, and this time Kara will not be able to run. Felt will eventually get the kill, as they want even more now. Thana, he's going to be alright to make it out, but not so much the same for Yambura, who does get caught by the Dawnbreaker. Now that bottom tier 1 tower very freely to be taken by Felt. And it seems like Felt they are really taking off with this draft. Maybe your one concern is the gyrocopter farming, but that's about it for now.
That really is it. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping this hope for timings on Ravens. And Felt, they're just running down. You know, they take that bot, they can start to invade that bot jungle now. They can start to get some forward wards. They have a nice deep ward behind that tier 2 area, right in front of the sauna or the pool, the hot tub.
Kara trying his best to get that stun off, but couldn't quite get there. So Felt now with the 4K advantage. Again, just so much riding on the shoulders of Argus on this gyrocopter, who's the only one really finding any form of farm on the side of the Radiant. Does basically have the Ags on the way. So you do have the side gunner incoming very, very soon, but he just needs so much more farm before he can really join his team. You don't have any form of life still apart from the Marcy that's going to hand over the sidekick. It's rough. Like, you need a BKB on this gyro. Need some damage. Solji. Get caught. Slow is there. Yambura, he'll pop the unleash. Should be enough damage eventually, but no, the Solar Guardian will come in, so now Thane is the one being hunted. Thane gonna find him. Misses the hammer. Will try and maybe go for the Starbreaker instead, but he's been slowed up and actually can't go for the kill. He'll have to watch the Skywrath mate walk out of there. Spade, meaning to leave himself now. They're trying to keep this Earth Spirit alive. Solji somehow still going. Will get stunned up by the Ravage though and will eventually drop as Fade will follow right after. A very messy fight, but it does work in the favor of Ravens this time.
It's a little bit too split up. They kind of shift their focus. They didn't manage to land their stuns once more onto the sky, giving that space out for Tana to just dodge. And you really got to hammer in at least some of these stuns in. Like, Solar Guardian's hard to land. The roll is hard to land. Kids.
He's getting caught by a stun, looking for a Requiem, but nice dispose out. He's going to try again, and now they're rolling Boulder in. He's actually going to survive, Kids. Kids will survive another day. They're going to try and go after Yambura. Solji is still rolling out. He's made it. And here comes Lich. Kara. Kara's the target. They want the Titan. They've got him. Rolling for more. They'd love RRL as well. Jump back in from Yambura, trying to snipe the Earth Spirit, and they will get him as Fade is jumping very, very deep, trying to find more for his team. Lich, he'll pop the Rupture onto the Ember, and now the swap back. Oh boy. They'll take the Mid-Ember out. Sure, you lose 2 supports for that, but it's well worth the time for Felt.
Definitely is. That's a ton of gold coming out. It's a lot of pressure on that mid. And that's a lot of time where you're just not able to really do too much about it on the side of Ravens. Again, your Gyrocopter is just not ready to go just with Ags alone. You're going to need some lifesteal. You're going to need a big crit. And the full Daedalus is going to be when you start to feel a lot better with this Gyrocopter. And that's still miles off. And Felt, they play off the back of Kits really well. He comes in, he gets forced around, tries to channel the Requiem, doesn't manage to land it, connects it this time with Solji, and they just manage to chase from there. Like, that just breaks up this fight here for Ravens. And for Ravens, we've been talking about this level 6 timing on Tana. Like, the Mystic Flare is coming out. It has been feeling good. It just doesn't feel like it's enough. Like, there's no hard hold to help you maximize that Ancient Seal Mystic Flare. The Marcy alone is not enough. Like, Yanbura's hold is just not enough to help you play there. And when you commit Mystic Flare, you probably don't want to really commit Unleash on the same target. You don't want to pop 2 ultimates. It feels like you're looking for just 1 ultimate use from your support per gank, per solo pickoff, and it's just not lining up for Ravens. Felt have been lasting long enough that the burst play isn't there, and they regroup and just jump back in. You're also trying to solo burst up against Solar Guardian. You know, there's a little bit of healing. There's a threat of counterplay every single time from Felt.
Here we go. 4-man smoke up. Mid lane, perhaps they could think about the Ember again. Instead, they're going to run right into Yambura. Yambura won't mind dying like this if it does mean the rest of his team gets out, but Argus... he tried to go for a fight or something. Definitely walked the wrong way, and Argus is just down. In fact, there's 3 down for the side of the Radiant. RRL, surely he doesn't drop as well.
Oh.
He gets hit by the rolling boulder. He's going to make it for now. Kara is still trying his best to fight this one out, but he's the only one left in the fight. In comes RRL again, trying to maybe snipe the Bloodseeker, and he does get him. But he's going to die for this. He still salvages something for his team, but it's a full team wipe for Felt.
Yeah. He managed to clean up.
Oh, he's left his mango behind as well. Poor old Yambura. He dug up a mango,
God.
just gets left on the ground. You get nothing. He doesn't deserve the mango today, John.
What a shame, you know, people love those mangoes, Mike. I bring a bunch of mangoes every time we meet up. You know that's to be true.
He really does.
Funny enough.
You really do.
What can I do? You know, it's what we like to give out, and all this time, the mango leads to death.
Did I tell you my wife liked those mangoes that you brought?
Yeah, you told me. I'll bring more next time if my visa doesn't get denied. No problems, Mikey.
I won't hold my breath then. I won't hold my breath then.
One thing to note, in that last fight, Lick died to Meteor Hammer. He got hammered out. He died to the burn damage. He was trying to disengage. It just lingered for so long. That's what killed him, I think, the last tick. He didn't get hit by Slight. Ember was too far to inflict damage with Flame Guard. So just that good combination coming out, again, from a big Ravage from Kara. Could have been much worse. For it's still pretty bad. You find a couple of kills. You feel a little bit better. 10-16, though. Felt still in control of this game. And they're starting to hit this point where the Bloodseeker is just this hyper core, right? Like, full Mjolnir coming out, Ag Shard coming through, and then the Basher up. Then Lifestealer is just... It's not a hero you can sustain out in front, especially with a Shard. So, the solutions from the Gyro... He's trying to go for the BKB. He does have the Chrysalis up. It feels like the Satanic's fully necessary now. Once the short timing's online from Licht, like, the Gyro can't actually out-sustain there.
Well, there goes Roshard. Really being taken now by Phil. 6k advantage sitting their way. Like, you still have this Gyrocopter farming great on the Radiant end of things, but he's still just so far off being a big nuisance. And even if you find that farm, like, you've still got to be able to play the hero to a high enough level. It's felt they've not made it easy this series to try and beat them out. They'll move into that tier 2 bottom tower. I think the damage just alone with kits. Oh, even the full silver edge up now on the SF. Why the hell not? There goes the tier 2 bottom. I mean, do you try for high ground? It's a bit early, I feel like, but Felt they might just feel so far ahead at the moment that they may go for it.
I think you can afford to take that risk. You've got Aegis, you've got BKB, and Kits can just stand from a mile away and do a lot of damage anyway. Look at this. Look at the way he positioned his illusions as well to give maximum vision on each peripheral side. It's crazy.
I don't know. Kits is really playing well today, I'll tell you, John. I mean, it's not like he plays badly every other day, but this man wants TI. You can see it with the way he's playing. Like, he is... If it comes to a 1v9, he's playing 1v9, you know?
Yeah. You know, I'm extra happy because RCY also is looking pretty good in his games. So the Filipino mids and NA are doing quite fine. Hats off to you, my boys. Hats off.
The national
Pinoy pride, as they say. Yes,
Your next Pinoy has shown himself. Lich being slowed up, but he's not really in too much danger. Like, he's got a BKB and an Aegis up. Never mind. I mean, he took the homing missile, but a huge Requiem from the back. Ravage pop, but he got the BKB off in time. Though he's trying to fight, but he's taking too much damage. He needs to get out of there. He'll run his way out as Kara's the one to go down.
What?
Though they are chasing. Lich actually ends up dropping in the back. So Argus, he may have had some shots being fired earlier that were just trying to reach the Bloodseeker because he was moving a bit too quick. But now the jump back in from Fade, trying to secure the gyro kill. Can they get it? Yes, they can. Fade is taking him out. Kid's jumping back into boot. RRL, he doesn't want the fight. He wants out of this. It is not the fight he was looking for. His Fade is just out of control. No damage items necessary. This Dawnbreaker just rushing after everyone, apparently. Still not the worst team fight for the Radiant this time. Ravens, they're showing signs of life.
I'd say that's still a big win for Ravens. They managed to catch the Bloodseeker while the shard isn't up. So he has no lifesteal in these engagements off of his blood rage. So he can't out-sustain the gyrocopter with a gunner. And it just kind of goes downhill from there. Doesn't manage to pop the BKB, is isolated, dies fast. Felt is forced to respond, and the response is just too slow. The Requiem was a pretty good idea coming out here from Kits. He tries to get the Requiem to get them to disperse, but Tidehunter is just a little bit too far. Ravage comes in, he's forced to reposition once more. And it's just a cascading series of events that it felt really bad for Felt to play into. Props to Ravens for finding that opportunity. Like, they recognize this Bloodseekers alone, they get the punishment off. And for Felt, it's a little bit sloppy. You know, that was not the cleanest. That's not the way you'd expect your team fight to go when you have Aegis. So they're going to have to play cautiously. They do have the shortest time on Lit. So again, some of that lifesteal is up. That should help him sustain in the middle of these fights. But you wish you had that, like, at least 2 minutes earlier.
Tough position. Such a close game again. Win probability right now is sitting around 80% the way it felt, to be fair. So even that previous engagement felt are still well and truly in the lead in this game. Top lane looks like Soldier may run into the side of Ravens very soon. No, he'll roll his way towards the south. Not interested whatsoever. Ravens, I suppose, looking to pressure the top tier 2 tower. The Felt may just go for the push in through the mid, or rather the bottom lane, if they have the opportunity. Meanwhile, Soldier being chased a little bit by RRL, but RRL won't bother for the full chase down. There goes your top tier 2 tower. Ravens will lose nothing for taking that. Nice little snipe on that objective. So I suppose now Felt maybe feeling like they need the next Roshan to safely take a fight. Roshan's still a hell of a long time away, though.
It is. I mean, they did lose the last fight with Roche, so chances are, you know, the mindset's like, all right, you lost with Roche, so surely it's not going to go our way without Roche. And just kind of default to a safer playstyle. This does favor Ravens. Starting to really escalate now on Argus. Looks like his full Satanic isn't too far off the mark now either. So the Gyrocopter is going to be very hard to look for the burst down, even with that shard up on Lit. And, you know, they're doing everything quite right in Ravens. They're working the map, they're farming up the jungle. Even though they're behind, it feels like they're in control, whereas Felt, they're kind of clumped up a little bit more. Their map space has shrunk. They don't have the forward vision they'd want. The vision of Ravens is pretty good. Top jungle vision, defensive vision down bot as well. They've always got a bit of a rough idea as to where Felt might be playing. It just cuts off Felt from looking for these pickoffs as well.
Haste.
Oh, Ravens still playing the patience game. Silver Edge being built up on Argus. It's like Felt might actually run into RRL. Kara, he's going to have his smoke broken. They know they're around there somewhere. Albino, he's going to try and tank the gank, but they've got a Requiem set up there from Kits. It will land on a couple. It could be another great fight here for the side of the Dire as the Ravage. It only connected on 2, really. Kara is still trying to fight, but Kits is such a huge issue. They are just melting to the damage of the SF. Yambura will try to rebound out. Will barely make it on the Marcy. But they got nothing and they lost 3 heroes for their trouble.
Lost 3 heroes, they had to pop Ravage. That's not going to be out for any sort of follow-up fight now on the objectives. And you've got the opening for Felt. You can look for a little bit more pressure. They did see Argus farming up. They have a good ward watching the triangle. Got to get a bit of a chase, but he does back off in the nick of time. Still, that should be a tier 2 going for their trouble. And it does. 1 outer tower left for Ravens. Again, with no Ravage. We were talking about this from the draft as well. With this kind of team fight orientation tied into Ravage, it feels like without that spell, you're not going to get that much impact from your Tide. You can still try to play with, say, Chains, Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare. You could try to play with the rebounds, but it's not as easy.
Roll in. They've got the Marcy Umbura. Eventually does get caught. Kara looking to move. Oh, they found the gyrocopter. Argus, how do you get yourself out of this one? Well, the only way is to fight. Apparently, he'll try to do that, but the Rupture is there to lock him down in place, so Argus has no choice but to die. Thane has gone to boot. This is all falling apart now for Ravens. RRL, he can remnant away, but Kara is not so lucky. Kara has to walk the old-fashioned way. He'll get stunned up, and he's certainly just as good as dead. A triple kill for Lich. Only survivor was RRL, and he's immediately going to split push the mid lane. And it doesn't, luckily for them, it doesn't seem like Felt's trying for high ground at all. No objectives to be taken. Kids will rotate into the mid lane immediately, start defending that, push out the creep wave. So at least for Ravens, there's no objectives to be taken, I don't think.
Yeah. It's only the outer tower at tier 2. High ground, still a little bit challenging, especially since that was your follow-up fight, not on the high ground. If that follow-up fight was on the high ground, I think you'd be committing harder, because you know Ravage is not going to be up. This time on the respawn, you know Ravage is going to be ready. So you play it safe. No need to really push the envelope too hard. Wait for that next Roshan. 50 seconds until it's back up. And that will be a daytime rush down south as well. So they're exerting their control in the area. Just need to be able to spot it when it's up. I will say, Fade with the Harpoon has been a massive issue. Like this Dawnbreaker pulling people back while also using the Starbreaker, it's pretty hard for you to kind of bail out here on any of the supports. Heck, even as the Tidehunter, it's really hard to bail out of a bad engagement. Yanbura checking for that Roche. They understand the next objective here, but could be in a really rough spot by himself.
He gets spotted. Swap is out. Yambura, he's got no target to rebound off. He's just dead. And he's doing his job the best he possibly can here to give his team the information they require, but now they are playing without him for another 35 seconds. Roshan 1 second away, but they haven't scouted it. Oh,
They got impatient.
that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate.
They thought Yanbura saw Roshan already.
Oh, Albino
they
found it.
They get it. Albino gets it done for them.
Even he didn't believe it. He started turning around to run the other way. Here we go. Aegis and Cheese. Free easy Roshan for the side of Felt, and Ravens just taking the time to farm while they can. It's just so unfortunate because like for Ravens, they're just stuck in this gyrocopter basket. Like RRL just never recovered to a point where the Ember just feels like he can fight back. Maybe once he has the Ags up, he might feel a little bit more scary, but till then, it's just the gyrocopter show, and he's just not proving to be enough.
No, not quite. It's really difficult for him to kind of carry through. RL needs to be able to be a lot more disruptive in the back. As you mentioned, that Ags time for RL is going to be key. Felt with Aegis and She should be able to start to pressure high ground now. The side of Ravens, they've got the right idea. Tried to go for the split push, but this could cost them. Bot racks are exposed.
Bot racks will go down. They want to look for a trade up a top lane. Question is, will there be a defense to come from Feld? Or do they just go for the mid racks instead? Well, the pings were out towards the mid racks, so it seems like they've made their decision. If they don't want to return and defend, they'll just keep going. But why the hell not? You've got so much building damage here with kids. Presence of the Dark Lord working on buildings is a thing, and Kids is making very short work of these mid racks. Skara will at least defend now, but the tier 3 is already gone. I guess he'll frontline for his team, and Felt they don't want to borrow this. They're just going to leave the area. Control the Radiant Triangle instead. It seems like they'll even just push out the top wave. Come back another day.
Yep. Start to look for that last outer tower here before committing back into high ground. They still have a lot of time in the Aegis anyway. There's no big pressure to kind of end it just yet. There's still the Ravage to worry about as well from Kara. And he does have Dead in the Water now, so the anchor is up. That could be a big nuisance for something like, say, the Bloodseeker here. Let's see if it will have the impact you'd expect.
Well, Kara will be okay. Help is incoming. Argus does move in. There was a rollout immediately from Soldier. He's got his BKB off. In fact, Argus, he got hit by the Rupture. A nice Ravage from Kara, buying a little bit of space for his gyrocopter, but Argus is completely surrounded again. Fade and Lich just man up against him, and they just melt. There's 4 heroes gone. Make that
Ooh.
5. What kind of range is that on the harpoon?
I have no idea.
What kind of range is this?
That did not look right. That definitely didn't look right. Looked like half a screen away.
This guy's playing
Jeez
punch.
Louise. It does look like it. And a much better punch, a guaranteed hook, Mike, because they find a Rex and off to end. No
game's over.
buybacks.
Oh, the game's over. No buybacks available. GG is called. RL, he's seen enough. And there you go, Felt. They get a 2-0 victory here against Ravens. Of course, the journey is not over for Ravens. They get to the lower bracket now, but if you are Felt, you're going to be feeling really damn good because you get to go up against DogChamp in the upper bracket semifinals all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's massive for a team like Felt, a team that